Hello there internet, and welcome to another Metroidvania map video. This one is for the rather excellent Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. A brand new, quite large and extensive 2.5D Metroidvania, the latest entry in the Prince of Persia series / franchise, and to be honest, a really good game. Really fun, really enjoyable. I've got a lot of really positive things to say about The Lost Crown, but that is not the purpose of this video. My feedback, my positives, my negatives will all be there for you to experience in my playthrough of the game, which I'm going to start editing as soon as I've got this particular video out. It'll all be available on YouTube. The map for The Lost Crown is large. It is expansive. It has a lot of things in it. Just before I kind of hit publish on the map, there were 1,900 plus layers with text, with icons, a load of bits and pieces. So let's take a quick look at the map at full resolution. This is the resolution the map was created at. This is 100%. It turns out this was way too big. It was so big, in fact, that I couldn't even turn it into a JPEG. So the JPEG version of the map is at this resolution. This is 50%, and this is absolutely fine for most instances. I think the only thing you'd want the full 100% map for is if you plan on printing it out for your wall or something. And don't get me wrong, people do that. I've been told, and people have tweeted at me that they do that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's there if you want it. But otherwise, stick to one of the 50% size ones. There's a PNG and a JPEG there for that, as well as a 25% size, which is this version of the JPEG file. There'll be a free version available at some point as soon as I have hammered out all of the details and so on and so forth, but I'm not releasing one just yet. This was a really great map to explore for multiple reasons. I love Metroidvania games with really good traversal, and the Prince of Persia series has always been about acrobatics and moving around trap-filled areas. Mount Kaf, the place where this game takes place, is an absolute playground for somebody who likes that kind of stuff. Yes, there is combat in the game. Yes, the combat is very good. Yes, the traversal abilities also offer advantages in combat as well, which is one of my main pillars of Metroidvania games. But getting around this map, especially from about 2/3 of the way through, feels amazing. It is so good. It feels like a slightly amped up version of what Metroid Dread did. I loved Metroid Dread's movement, and I loved its animation, and I loved how fluid it was getting around that game as Samus. The Lost Crown is better, I think, in many ways. It's got great soundtrack, it's got great visuals, and the map is just really fun to explore. So, everything that you need to get 100% is on this map. This is based on a 100% save file. There are a few things that you need to do in each area to get the 100%. They are all marked on here. I noticed about halfway through my playthrough with the game that a lot of the press, especially press websites, tips websites, game guide websites, they'd got copies of the game early. So there were 2 or 3 different interactive maps available by the time I'd even got a chance to sit down and properly attack the game. Didn't look at them, saw they were available, and to be honest, I was a little bit sad. You know, who's going to get a map for me when there's a free interactive map available? And there'll be a free version of this, as I said. from me available in the Google Drive at some point. But as it turns out, after I finished the game, couldn't find a single one of those interactive maps that I'd actually got all the information on. This does. I can't say I 100% guarantee that, because when you're working with close to 2,000 layers, every now and again something gets misplaced, deleted, hidden, and so on and so forth. But I'm hoping people will point that out to me, because there's a lot of stuff on here and I cannot go through and check 2,000 layers when I've got other games to do and my job to go to and all of that kind of jazz. But I had a great time putting this together. So you've got, and I'm just going to reel off the list here, you've got all the Xerxes Coins locations, you've got the Azure Damascus Ingot locations. Those two are used for upgrades and for buying stuff from the scrapper down in the depths. All of the Amulet locations are on here, save for the Word of Prosperity, which is a Deluxe Edition pre-order bonus thingy, which you start with. All the key items, again, except ones that you get in the prologue at the start of the game. All the boss locations, all the Athra Surge locations, all of the various kind of Simurgh feather powers that you get, they are all there. All of the upgrades that you can get for flasks, for health piece, they're basically pieces of heart, but they're called soma flowers in this. You've got all, or pretty much all, I think, of the time crystals that you can find all the way around the map. You don't need those for 100% completion, as far as I know, so I may have missed one or two, but I think I was pretty comprehensive with that as well. All the prophecy sands jars that you need for the side quests are there, arrow refill locations, grapple point locations, all the different types of doors and the keys that you need for them. You've got clues and hints about how to solve the puzzles. You've got all the lore items and collectibles that you can find. You've got the kind of stele thing that you can read lore on as well. I've made custom icons for those and put those on. All the skins that you can get, all of the treasure chests, all of the amulet holders, NPC locations, map vendor locations, shop locations and inventories, all of the save points, all of the fast travels, the solutions to the various the architect chests that you can find, breakable walls and secret passages, golden bombable walls that you can get and access later on in the game, the brambles that you can use your charge attack on to get through. I've even marked on all of the, or most of, maybe not all of, but all of the bombs that you can pick up to get you through various bits. I went all out with this because despite feeling a little bit miffed that, I hadn't got review copy and so on and so forth, and there were already a load of interactive maps out, and I thought I was wasting my time. I was having such a good time with the game, and I've had such a good time making this map that I have just put as much effort in as I can. This is actually the second version of this video that I have made, because version 0.1, this is 0.2, version 0.1 of the map, I made the text too small. And I ummed and ahed about whether it was actually an issue all the way through. But of course, as I was mostly working at kind of this level, it wasn't so much of an issue. It was only when I came to put it together and start thinking about, publishing it, that I realised, actually, it's quite difficult to read some of this text. So between version 0.1 and 0.2, and as always, all of this stuff is laid out in the changelog that I'll link in the description below. I went through and I updated all of the text. That took 3 hours, by the way, because this file chugged my computer. It's 3 gigabytes almost. So it's a big, big file. And as I said, 2,000 layers is nothing to be sniffed at, even with 64 gig of RAM and a 7950X processor. But what a great game. And what a great soundtrack As I was actually finishing off and finalising a lot of things for this map, I searched up Gareth Coker's soundtrack for the game because I didn't get to properly focus on the music as much whilst I was playing, because I turned the volume down while I'm recording and commentating and talking over stuff. But yes, an absolutely fabulous experience. Would I recommend buying it at full price? Well, I got 25 hours out of it to 100%. But I didn't pay full price. I got it as part of the Ubisoft Connect Plus package thing, which is a subscription thing for $12.99, is it? Per month. And you can just play the game for as much time as you want. I suspect I will grab a copy of the game for keepsies on sale. Because 45 to 50 quid, I think is quite a lot of money. But also, I'd argue that this is probably worth it. It's one of the most fun metroidvania experiences I've had in a good chunk of time. And keeping in mind that I mapped an awful lot of games last year, this blew most of them out of the water. This has gone straight up into S tier for me, despite the handful of bugs that I had, one of which was fairly significant. There's a boss up here that gives you an ability, and he bugged out for me, so I spent a good couple of hours trying to find my way through into certain optional areas, and I couldn't. And it turns out that the reason I couldn't is because he had this... It's an optional ability, really. You don't need it to finish the game, but you do need it to finish the side content. So that was infuriating, but he did respawn for me after the kind of official launch day patch. And again, you'll get to, if you follow along with my 100% playthrough of the game, you'll get to see that particular experience and how it messed me up. This was going to be a shorter video. It is now a longer video than the first version that I recorded. Well done, me. That's very typical. As I said earlier on, there are going to be multiple ways of getting your hands on this map. There is the Coffee.com Support Me edition of the map, which is the only one live right now. It is pay what you want, minimum of £3, just to support the many hours that I put into this kind of stuff. There's 4 different maps in that map pack, which should work on a majority of your devices, depending on if you use your common sense or not. There will be a free version available, just not quite yet. We'll get there. It shouldn't be too long. By the end of the month, certainly once I've really kind of made sure that everything that I want is on here. I don't want to be faffing around with updating multiple different versions of the map. If I can help it, I'm quite busy with work, so yeah. Thank you very much for the support. Go and listen to that soundtrack. Enjoy The Lost Crown. There's some really good everything in that game, and I really like the story as well. There were a couple of twists in that story that really caught me off guard, and I'm usually pretty good at spotting when a twist is coming. Nope, not in this one. A couple of them really caught me by surprise. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. 100%ed it, loved it, highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay fabulous. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.